Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Coronation Street spoilers. Roy's health scare, Paul's in danger, and relationship issues. Coronation Street's official spoilers reveal there's drama on the horizon for Weatherfield residents in upcoming scenes. It looks as though there are some major health scares coming up for Coronation Street's Roy Cropper, played by David Nielsen, and Paul Foreman, Will Ash. Official spoilers for the ITV soap reveal Roy's time behind bars is starting to take its toll. As his bail has continuously been denied while Lauren Bolton, Kate Fitton, remains missing, the cafe owner is starting to remember some moments before she disappeared. However, as he refuses to eat, is Roy pushing himself to breaking point? Elsewhere, Paul wants to try and get to know his dad again after being absent for so many years. Although his mom, Bernie Winter, Jane Hazelgrove, fears her past secrets could come to light as her ex comes to Weatherfield. Meanwhile, there's some trouble in paradise as two Coronation Street women are less than impressed with the men in their lives. Express.co.uk has a rundown of the three biggest storylines set to air next week in Coronation Street. As Roy calls the cafe to speak to Nina Lucas, Molly Gallagher, Shona Platt, Julia Golding, answers and passes the phone to Carla Connor, Allison King. However, she hangs up pretending it was a dodgy line and quickly leaves. While in his prison cell, Roy gets another unusual flashback of Lauren. He remembers her approaching the cafe counter with Max Turner, Patty Bever, although can't work out the significance of their conversation. When a prison officer bangs on the door, Roy's frustrated as he loses his chain of thought on Max and Lauren. Elsewhere in the Factor, Bobby Crawford, Jack Carroll, tells Carla that he thinks Roy must have kept quiet about the false statement. Otherwise, they'd have heard from the police by now. Later on, Nina is in the visiting room and explains to an officer that she's waiting to see Roy. As the officer goes to get him in his cell, he's shocked to discover Roy collapsed on the floor. While Bernie lets off steam to Dev Allahan, Jimmy Harkishy, about Danny Cunningham, she's worried he may expose a secret about her past. Meanwhile, Billy Mayhew, Daniel Brocklebank, wastes no time in reminding his husband, as Danny used to knock him around growing up. As Billy tries to remind Paul that his father isn't to be trusted, it seems as though his warnings have gone unheard as Paul invites Denny over to watch a film. Not wanting to be around him, Billy reluctantly leaves him to it. Later on, Denny heads out to get some ice cream, leaving Paul alone in the flat. While he's out, he bumps into his daughter, Gemma Winter, Dolly Rose Campbell, and begs her to let him meet his grandchildren. However, little does he know that while he's out speaking to Gemma, Paul is struggling alone in the flat. As he has a coughing fit, Paul quickly struggles to breathe and tries to call for an ambulance. Although when the operator answers, Paul drops the phone. When Denny returns back to the flat, he's shocked to find Paul barely conscious. Elsewhere, Dev discovers Bernie rifling through a shoebox that is full of old letters and photos. When Dev wonders what she's looking for, Bernie's uneasy. In the cafe, Steve McDonald, Simon Gregson, shows Abby Franklin, Sally Carmen, and Kevin Webster, Michael Lavelle, a photo of a woman called Maggie who is a potential date. As Kevin makes a few sexist remarks, Abby is furious and storms out in a huff. Steve is thrilled when he tells his best friend Tim that Maggie has agreed to meet for lunch at the bistro. When Steve meets up with internet date Carol, Gemma Wardle, at the Rovers, he's thrown to discover that she's brought 3 friends along with her. As one of the pals, Aurora, Pippa Fulton, asks Tim to join them and doesn't take no for an answer. He sits with them all for a drink. However, when Sally walks in and spots Tim with a drunken woman, she's unimpressed. Spotting him giggling like a schoolboy in the company of another woman, could there be trouble on the way? Later on, Steve seems downbeat as he confides in daughter Amy Barlow, Elle Mulvaney, that he's had enough of dating apps. However, he quickly changes his tune when he sees a message from a woman called Demi, Lisa Shingler. While he prepares for his date, he tells Amy that he's convinced Demi's the one for him. As they meet up in the Rovers, Steve and Demi hit it off immediately. Has his luck finally started to change?